Welcome to the program. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Thank you so much for joining us for another segment. We're going to be speaking with Tony Ezell, President, North America and Chief Marketing Officer at BD, joining us to talk about BD and the USA Track and Field, how they're working together to help athletes back on track safely through the use of rapid COVID-19 testing with the BD Veritor Plus system. Welcome to Health Professional Radio, Mr. Tony Ezell. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me, Neil. Certainly excited to be here with you today.
President, North America and Chief Marketing Officer of BD. Give us a little bit of your professional background and talk about your role briefly there at BD.
I've been with BD in the role of President of North America and the Chief Marketing Officer now for about a year and a half. And I've been in the healthcare industry for almost 30 years. And, part of my passion is what we do here at BD, which is advancing the world of health. So in my role as the President of North America, I'm responsible for all the operations across our 9 business units. And as the Chief Marketing Officer globally, I'm responsible for leading a lot of the marketing efforts and the approaches that we take worldwide. So it's been an exciting time to be a part of what we do here at BD.
Now, my mother was a nurse, and we got a lot of injections at home. So my experience with the BD has been syringes, but it's a whole lot more, right?
Absolutely. And similar to your experience with your mother, a lot of people know BD for some of the products that we've been providing for over 100 years, like your syringes and needles. But we are one of the largest global medical technology companies. We provide medical discovery instruments, diagnostics, and delivery systems for care. Because of that spectrum, we're able to really help improve outcomes. And probably the best way to explain what we do at BD for those who remember the needles and syringes is actually to use the COVID-19 example. I think it really exemplifies everything that BD does. So if you think about what we've all been going through for the last 15 months, on the side of discovery and research, we develop research instruments that are used in immunology testing. And so these type of instruments were used in the vaccines research to help gain better understanding of what the immune response would be for people, to the vaccines that were being tested. On the diagnostic side, which is what a lot of people are familiar with and what we're using with USA Track and Field, we developed another molecular test for COVID-19 and obviously a rapid antigen test, BD Veritor Plus. And then on the delivery side, it just goes on. If you think about the unfortunate events where there were many people in hospitals last year, over 90% of hospitals are using our products, and we're an integral part of what they use to take care of patients and deliver care. So think ICU beds. We have infusion pumps and catheters that were used in ICU bedrooms. On the side of prevention, we have produced and will deliver over 2 billion needles and syringes, those things that you recall, in the help and delivery of vaccines. So as you can see, BD truly is integrated into how we deliver healthcare around the world.
I remember at the onset of this pandemic, there was such a huge concern about the availability of tests, the time that it took to get results back, and how that was going to affect sports overall. I'm involved in high school sports, so you know that there was major disruptions with high school sports. When talking about athletic, these bubbles that we talk about with major league teams, NFL teams, getting these athletes back into competition, having been tested, how long does it take these tests to come back? I mean, we're looking at matches this week, next week, the following week. Someone gets tested positive. We need to know that immediately.
Absolutely. Well, I think first and foremost, I think one of the things that we're proud of here at BD is being able to partner with USA Track and Field and truly helping those athletes who trained their entire lives just for those moments to be able to qualify. So it's been a pleasure to watch them qualifying this week, actually, as the event started. When you think about testing and the question you asked about how long does it take, well, it depends on what kind of testing. But if we're talking very specifically about BD Veritor Plus system, our rapid antigen testing, it's 15 minutes. And as we partner with USA Track and Field and working with their protocols that their medical staff has designed, These tests are done at strategic points throughout the events to ensure that the athletes are safe and that they're able to leverage their protocols for contact tracing, et cetera. So if you might imagine the way it works is any patient or any athlete who comes in as they're coming in for trials, they will receive a BD Veritor rapid antigen test, and within 15 minutes, they're aware of whether or not they are positive or not, and then they can follow through with their protocols. But that's all part of the massive process that USA Track and Field, and by the way, we also are partnered with USA Swimming, and you just saw their events conclude this past Sunday, and it's great to have seen some of the best athletes not have to worry, quite frankly, and that's the value of leveraging a system like ours.
Once an athlete has been tested and they come back negative, how often are they tested? Are they tested before every meet? Are they tested after the meets? How often are they tested? And in addition to how often are they tested, once they've received any of the vaccines, is that testing rate altered?
Neil, those are some great questions. The couple questions you have there in terms of how often they're tested. Unfortunately, those are designed, so I'm probably not the right person to answer those, but those are designed by the medical staff or any of the organizations that we work with. And we've worked with many beyond USA Track and Field and Swimming, but we partner with them. One of our partners, Premier Medical Group, which is a physician-based group, they worked with the medical staff of USA Track and Field to define specifically how often tests would occur. And so probably would be best for you to connect with the USA Track and Field team and or the swimming organization, because they both had different protocols, and we just met those needs for them.
As far as this partnership goes, is this something that you anticipate being an indefinite partnership, even after the pandemic seems to be winding down? I say a lot of people disagree with that, but it's a lot better today than it was a year ago, in my opinion. Do you think that once things get to some semblance of normalcy, that this partnership will remain intact, or will there be a parting of ways?
Well, as I think about the partnership specifically with USA Track and Field, we're committed to ensure that they are able to keep their athletes safe as they are on their journey to Tokyo. So that is really what this initial partnership is about. We certainly are prepared to support them as we move into this next season of flu, where we will be introducing a new product that includes a combination of our flu and COVID assays. And so I think, actually, if you think about the way that both USA Track and Field and Swimming have gone through their trials, we believe that that's a perfect example of why you should have testing and you should continue to test. It's all about ensuring that you mitigate any potential risks. So as they have more trials, as they have training which will continue to go on this summer in their quest to get to Tokyo, we will be there for any additional needs that they have.
Now, although you've partnered with USATF, have you partnered with any other health facilities as far as hospitals, universities that has your BD Veritor Plus system in place?
Absolutely. In fact, we have our product BD Veritor Plus system, as well as a number of other products. As I mentioned, we also have a molecular test as well that many of the hospitals around the world are using in support of patients who may have COVID or may have some other challenges. So we are definitely partnering with hospitals. We've also partnered with other bodies similar to USA Track and Field, other companies. We've been involved with other sporting, conferences, if you will. So our job here is really to support as many people as we possibly can. I think we've actually been able to deliver over 75,000 units in support of COVID management over the last year here in North America alone.
Now, Tony, I understand that there's a documentary available that further details the use and implementation of the BD Veritor Plus system, and also talks about the partnership with USATF.
Absolutely, Neil, and thanks for bringing that up. One of the things we believe is really important is to expose and share with the world how we can really work together to get people back to life. And a great example of that is the athletes who are part of USA Track and Field. So we introduced a couple of weeks ago our new series of BD on Location, which is a documentary type of series that really follows athletes. It has both the CEO, Max Siegel, Alex Felix, who is one of the most world-renowned athletes out there, and from a track and field perspective, one of the most famous female athletes, as well as our CEO, Tom Poland, who are all captured on here. And it really does share how one must work together to work so that all of these athletes who put all this great time can get back to the track safely, so that they can actually have an opportunity to be a part of the Olympic team. We hope that by sharing the series, others who are working through the same challenges of getting back to life, they can see how it's done and how systems like the BD Veritor Plus rapid antigen test system can be a part of helping you safely do that.
Tony, give our listeners a website where we can learn more about BD and about the BD Veritor Plus system as well.
Yeah. So I think if you want to learn more about BD, BD.com will take you right to where you need to go. And if you want to learn more about BD Veritor system, you can go to bdveritor.com as well.
Thank you so much for joining us here on the program. It's been a very enlightening conversation. Thank you much.
Thank you, Neil. Thanks for having us again.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with Tony Ezell, President, North America, and Chief Marketing Officer at Becton Dickinson. Audio copies of this program are available at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, listen in, download it SoundCloud, and be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com, Health Professional Radio.